Making a beat from scratch sounds tough, but today I'm going to be breaking it down step by step, so it's simple, clear, and actually fun. Once you know the process, you'll be able to create the beat that you've got in your head from complete scratch. And when you create your own beats, you unlock a whole different creative process. In this video, I'm going to be diving into 3 main stages: making the melody, creating bounce with drums, and also mixing and arranging the beat so it sounds polished. By the end of this video, making beats won't feel overwhelming. It'll feel easy. Let's get into it. Building a melody. Starting a melody from scratch might seem really intimidating, but it's easily the most important part of making a beat. If your melody doesn't grab attention, it makes it way harder for the artist to find their flow. There's a sweet spot between too simple and too complex, and that's where the magic happens. In this part, I'll show you exactly how to build a melody that's clean, catchy, and artist ready. Let's get into it. Right, so let's start with building the melody straight away. I'm gonna change the BPM. Let's go to 180. Let's open up a pattern, and I'm gonna start with, a Rhodes piano. Let's get a Rhodes piano from Keyscape. Take off the auto pan, and cool. Let's find some cool chords. Oh, I like that. So I've just added the E. Instead of this being an F sharp, I've added an E, and it just adds some suspense. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy that over. Let's just get a bit of a top line in there. Okay, cool. I think we've got the top line and melody there now. Right, what we're going to do now actually is let's pitch this up. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 down to up to F, sorry, and let's put it down an octave. Let's even go up a bit more. Let's go to G sharp. What does this sound like pitched up an octave? Ooh! No, wait, what? Them 2 notes pitched up are crazy. Yeah, no, that's hard. Let's go down 2 now. See what that sounds like. This, yeah, crazy. Okay, cool. Let's get a bass in. And what I'm going to do, a little bit of sauce here, is if you open up Omnisphere, go to Keyscape library, there's a bass in here called the Rhodes bass. If you go down, here we are, Rhodes piano bass, sorry. This bass, go to recently. So let's send them both to the mixer. And before we get carried away, let's just add some effects to the Rhodes. So I'm going to open up the reverb. Okay, cool, nice. Let's add the vintage chorus and semantics origin. Something like vintage, saturation, and distortion, movement. And I'm just gonna add some vintage chorus on that too, to the bass. Open up an EQ, just take out the high ends. Nice, I like that. And what I'm going to do now is I think I'm going to get a sample from Splice, like a little vocal sample. Right, I found this vocal from Splice. This is going to be so hard. Right, let's stretch it. Let's speed it up, make it quicker, and we're in F sharp, so E minor, F, F sharp, up 3. What? No, that's insane. Right. What I'm going to do is pitch it down an octave. I hear the potential. Okay, cool. Let's have Pancake just going left to right a little. And I have let's even drag this down, make unique, and put this up an octave. The vocal's insane. The only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out the hiss sound. Can you hear like? Nice. I'm gonna open up the new kit I'm working on, and I'm gonna get a texture in there. It's gonna be the birds one. Right, cool. I think now we're just gonna get some pads in. Let's get let's open up Sky Keys. Let's go to the pad section. Let's just go to the Mate, what? Underfrost is insane. Hear this. Yeah. I'm just adding some simple effects to that. Jesus. Maybe I'll add some electric guitar or something on this, I think. Definitely think that was the take. It'd be sick for like a B section. Just a nice added texture. I'm gonna add a string in the high end, and that's it for the melody. Right, let's listen to the final melody. Oh. I'm not going to add anything else to complicate it. Let's get into part 2 when I show you how to make some crazy bouncy drums. Making bouncy drums. Man, this has to be my favorite part of making beats, the drums. Getting the right bounce is like everything. You could have the craziest melody, but if that bounces off, you'll lose the artist instantly. So in this part, I'm going to show you exactly how to build drums that hit hard, stay simple, and keep that bounce alive. Let's get into it. Right, so let's get straight into making the drums. I'm going to open up a new pattern. I've just laid out the melody a little bit so we can just have a bit of variation when making the drums. And I'm going to keep the drums very bouncy, but also very simple. So I'm going to start off with opening up my Blueprint multi-kit. Linked in the description if you guys want to get your hands on it. I'm going to use the punch snare. And I'm just going to put it on the normal bounce for now. But before anything, I forgot. Add the soft clipper on your master. Let's get a hi-hat in. Let's in fact mute the perk loop. Okay, cool. That's nice. What I'm actually going to do on the B section here, I'm just going to not even bring in the 808 for this section. Just going to have a kick. bring the bass across and let's hear it in the A section too. Let's fill out some of the gaps now with some perks and open hats. Let's bring 2 snares in. Copy that over. And let's have an alternating snare here, so like. Now open up Katie's kit and get the Pain open hat. You know I love this open hat. Have that on the first hit. Open up the Blueprint multi-kit again. Let's go to the Sony hat. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do now is mute the kick and mute the bass. And let's bring in an 808. Let's bring in the Spins 808 from my kit. What I'm going to do is open up the Spins 808 and cut it. So basically the notes don't like overlap. Let's layer the 808 and kick as usual. Open up a limiter on the 808, but we're not going to limit it. We're going to compress it, sidechain compression. So bring down the threshold and knee and then sidechain it like that, making sure they're linked. Oh, smooth. Okay, yeah, perfect. Right, so I'm not going to add anything else. It's time to arrange and mix the beat into a full beat that's ready to send out. Let's get into it. Mixing and arranging is easily one of the most important parts of making a beat. As you're building it, you're constantly adjusting sounds. But the more things you add, it's so easy for certain elements to get lost in the mix. That's why when you're finishing up the beat, take a step back and take in all of the sounds and make sure things aren't being lost. And mastering is simpler than you think. However, it can completely shift how a beat sounds. After you watch this, your beats will go from sounding trash to like complete gold. Let's get into it. On to the last stage, mixing and arranging it. We've pretty much mixed it already as we've gone along. However, it's just, fine tuning, seeing if we can bring some levels up on some of the melody and stuff. And the arrangement is so key. We need to keep that artist attention. So let's get straight into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the drums by channel. For these type of beats, I like bringing the drums in straight away as like an intro. And the bass on the second part. And this could be the hook. We're going to move this guitar over. Let's have that in a verse. And I'm going to move these vocals over and have no vocals, I think. Yeah, defo. So this is the hook. This is definitely the hook. Let's have the texture throughout the whole song. So I'm going to carry over main chords and let's bring in the orchestra. In fact, no, let's leave the orchestra for the second part of the verse. And this is where we're going to bring in the kick. Let's just do a little break here. Just add some variation. We could literally swap out the, you ready? Brilliant. And then it's just going to loop around. That is it's as simple as that when it comes to arranging the beats. I'm just going to bring in a little riser just before the hook. Just there. So literally just repeat this over twice. 1, 2. And on the last part, we're just going to remove the end bit here, the last 2 big bars. And on the last bit, we're just going to remove this part. So we've got hook, hook, hook. So all we now are going to do is make an outro, and I'm just going to repeat over the intro, just without the drums. Forgot the bass there, actually. And then we're just going to do a little bit of a fade out, which is just selecting the bit you want to fade, go to the mixer, right-click the mixer, create automation clip, bring this down, right-click it, and there will be an option for smooth. Smooth, bang. Ooh. So let's go to the hook, and let's see if I can level anything. That sky keys can come up just a tad. Yeah, nice. Bring down the birds just a bit, and you can bring up the roads a tad. Yeah, nice. When it comes to arranging a beat, you really want to think of 3 main things. Keeping the artist happy, not overcomplicating it, and keeping a very good structure. And also, don't add any beat cuts. I know it might seem that it will keep the artist interest. When it comes to the song actually being recorded, it can really put off the artist. So I highly recommend not to do it. Right, I think that is the beat done. That is literally it. Nothing else you've got to do. Just send it out now and get it placed. Right, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. It means so much. I hope you've been liking this new content. I'm trying my hardest to get as much out. If you guys want to see any type of content, make sure you let me know. And if you want the exact sound used in this video, there's a kit that I've linked in the description just for this video. So make sure you get your hands on it. I shall see you in the next one.